Have you ever stopped to think that a simple white powder tucked away in your kitchen could completely change how your body responds during moments of intimacy? Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Baking soda. It sounds like something straight out of grandma's recipe book, right? But for many men over 60, this incredibly simple and affordable ingredient has made a huge difference in energy, stamina, and most importantly, confidence when being with their partner. Hello, I'm Dr. Beatriz Tavares, a specialist in urology and men's health. For over 15 years, I've been helping men like you reclaim their strength, vitality, and well being. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and realize your body isn't responding the way it used to. You feel the energy slowly fading, erections aren't as firm anymore, and fatigue has become a daily companion. And I also know that even though it's often a silent issue, it can lead to frustration, worry, and even shame about talking about it. Today, I want to tell you something very important. The solution isn't always in an expensive pill bottle. Sometimes the simplest medicine is right in front of you, in your kitchen, ready to be used wisely with the right guidance. In this video, I'll show you 10 proven benefits that baking soda can offer men over 60. Plus, each benefit comes with real-life examples from patients who, through small routine changes, regained their energy, improved circulation, and reignited intimate confidence. Before we continue, I need to give an important warning. Baking soda is safe for most people, but if you have high blood pressure, kidney problems, or take controlled medications, talk to your doctor before starting. The correct dose and important warnings I'll recommend here is half a teaspoon of baking soda, which is about 2 grams, dissolved in a 200 milliliter glass of warm water, taken on an empty stomach. To boost it, you can add the juice of half a lemon. This is the safe measure for daily use for up to 3 weeks, followed by a 1-week break. Now, if you're ready to discover how such a simple gesture can have a profound impact on your life, come along on this journey with me. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how baking soda works in your body, but you'll have the tools to incorporate it safely into your routine and start feeling real changes. Benefit number 1 balances pH and improves circulation. One of the most silent problems many men over 60 face is that the body becomes more acidic with age. This seemingly small change can severely affect blood circulation, especially in the vessels that carry blood to the penis. When those vessels become rigid and narrow, the blood flow needed for a healthy erection decreases, and that sense of vitality slowly fades away. Let me tell you about Mr. Geraldo, 68 years old, a retired farmer from Minas Gerais, who spent his life working on a farm. He came to my office in Belo Horizonte with frustration written all over his face. "Doctor, I don't feel like a man anymore," he said. His test didn't show anything serious, but when I dug deeper, I discovered his internal pH was highly acidic. It was like trying to water a garden with a hose that's almost closed. The flow just wasn't reaching where it needed to. I suggested a simple change. Start the day with a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon and half a teaspoon of baking soda, taken on an empty stomach. This routine acts as a natural alkalizer, helping blood vessels relax and gradually improving circulation. After 3 weeks, Mr. Geraldo returned with a smile I hadn't seen in a long time. "Doctor, it feels like my body woke up again," he confessed. What seemed like a tiny morning detail became the powerful first step to reclaiming blood flow, energy, and confidence. Benefit number 2. More oxygen in erectile tissue. Another factor many men over 60 overlook is the role of oxygen in erectile function. Good general circulation isn't enough. The oxygen needs to reach the tissues inside the penis directly so that arousal can turn into firm, lasting erections. Let me share the story of Mr. Antonio, 71 years old, a retired firefighter from Sao Paulo who always took pride in his strength. During our consultation, he confessed, "Doctor, I feel like I'm running out of fuel down there. Everything feels slower and dimmer." His case was typical. As we age, internal acidity and inflammation make it harder for hemoglobin to transport oxygen efficiently. Baking soda, beyond balancing pH, helps optimize how hemoglobin releases oxygen to the tissues. When the blood is more alkaline, oxygen reaches the blood vessels and erectile tissue more effectively. This means that during arousal, the penis's muscles and vessels get the oxygen they need to function properly. After incorporating the simple routine of water and baking soda on an empty stomach, Mr. Antonio noticed surprising changes, firmer erections, and a renewed sense of energy. This small habit not only improves erectile function, but also contributes to more consistent overall vitality throughout the day. Benefit number 3, reduces silent inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the sneakiest enemies of men's health after 60. We often don't even notice it, but day by day it affects blood vessels, reduces sensitivity, and makes erections harder. Let me tell you about Mr. Jose Carlos, 70 years old, a merchant from Rio de Janeiro who was always active and full of energy, but arrived at his appointment with constant fatigue and a sense of weakness. His tests showed elevated levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein. The silent inflammation was affecting his endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels where nitric oxide is produced, which is essential for strong erections. Baking soda has an indirect but powerful effect on inflammation. Studies show it can stimulate anti-inflammatory pathways, helping blood vessels and kidneys function better. With the dose of half a teaspoon in 200 milliliters of warm water taken in the morning on an empty stomach, Mr. Jose Carlos began to notice changes. Less daytime fatigue, clearer thinking, and, most importantly, more frequent and firmer morning erections. This benefit reduces the internal irritation that often goes unnoticed. It's not an instant remedy, but a steady support that, with simple habits, helps the body regain its natural balance. Benefit number 4, supports nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is an essential molecule for men's health. It's the spark that signals blood vessels to open and smooth muscles to relax, allowing blood to flow to the penis at the right moment. With age, natural production of this substance decreases, which can make the body not respond as before. Let me tell you about Mr. Roberto, 66 years old, a retired teacher from Curitiba, who still felt sexual desire but complained that his body wasn't signaling it. Every attempt at intimacy led to frustration because erections weren't happening spontaneously like they used to. This is a common issue. The body has the desire, but the vessels and tissues don't respond. Baking soda doesn't contain nitric oxide, but it creates an internal environment that favors the body's more efficient production of it. By reducing blood acidity and protecting the endothelium, it helps natural mechanisms work better. This means that when arousal hits, the vessels are more prepared, and blood flow is more effective. After incorporating the simple morning routine of water and baking soda, Mr. Roberto started noticing the difference. Firmer and more spontaneous erections and greater confidence during intimate moments. Benefit number 5, detoxifies the liver and kidneys. One of the less obvious reasons men over 60 start feeling tired and less vital has to do with toxin buildup in the body. Over the years, our system stores waste products, metabolic byproducts, and even unneeded hormones. Two key organs for clearing these are the liver and kidneys. When their function slows, energy, mental clarity, and sexual vitality can suffer. I need to pause here for an important note. Many of you ask in the comments if baking soda harms the liver. The answer in the correct dose is no. Quite the opposite. It helps reduce the acid load on the kidneys and maintain a more balanced pH in urine, facilitating filtration and supporting liver function. But pay attention. If you have a diagnosed kidney issue, talk to your nephrologist first. Let me tell you about Mr. Marcos, 70 years old, a retired accountant from Porto Alegre who felt toxic inside. His tests showed slightly elevated uric acid and signs of a sluggish liver. Despite relatively healthy habits, his body was accumulating residues that affected his overall well-being. With a small glass of water and baking soda on an empty stomach, Mr. Marcos began noticing gradual changes, morning energy, a sense of lightness, and greater mental clarity during the day. Plus, this indirect cleansing effect contributes to better blood flow, which is crucial for maintaining firm, healthy erections. Benefit number 6. Controls blood sugar and reduces abdominal fat. After 60, many men notice that belly fat seems to stick around more stubbornly than before. This fat isn't just an aesthetic issue, it produces an enzyme called aromatase, which converts testosterone to estrogen, disrupting hormonal balance and affecting both energy and sexual desire. Let me share the story of Mr. Paulo, 67 years old, a former soccer coach from Salvador, who came to my office worried. "Doctor, this belly is killing my stamina," he said. Even staying active, he noticed his strength and libido waning and his body not responding like before. Baking soda, by balancing internal pH, helps regulate blood sugar levels. This reduces glucose spikes that trigger wild sweet cravings and abdominal fat buildup. Plus, a more alkaline pH favors metabolic efficiency, allowing the body to use energy more effectively and reduce the tendency to store fat in the belly area. By incorporating this simple routine of water with baking soda on an empty stomach combined with light walks, Mr. Paulo noticed changes. Less uncontrolled hunger, a feeling of lightness, and more energy during the day. Even his confidence returned as he saw improvements in strength and intimate performance. Benefit number 7. Improves testosterone sensitivity. Even when testosterone levels are normal, it doesn't always mean the body is using it correctly. With age, years of internal inflammation and acidity can dull hormonal receptors, so available testosterone doesn't produce the expected effects on energy, motivation, or sexual performance. Let me introduce Mr. Wilson, 64 years old, a retired military police officer from Recife, who came to his appointment concerned. "Doctor, my tests say testosterone is good, but I feel dimmed and unmotivated." His issue wasn't the amount of testosterone, but that his body couldn't fully utilize it. Baking soda helps reduce internal acidity and inflammation, creating an ideal environment for hormonal receptors to function properly. This means the existing testosterone can be used more efficiently, restoring energy, desire, and physical strength. With a simple routine of warm water and baking soda on an empty stomach, plus healthy habits like walking and staying hydrated, Mr. Wilson noticed gradual changes: daytime vitality, better mood, and a remarkable recovery in intimate performance. Benefit number 8, boosts cellular energy in smooth muscle. Many men over 60 have never heard of the smooth muscle cells inside the penis, but they're essential for maintaining firm, lasting erections. They not only help blood enter the penis, but also trap it, allowing the erection to be sustained for full intimacy. Let me tell you about Mr. Francisco, 68 years old, A retired mechanic from Goiânia who said, "Doctor, I can't hold on like I used to. It's like everything fades midway." This is a common problem. Mitochondria, the cell's energy powerhouses, function less efficiently with age, especially in chronic acidity or oxidative stress conditions. Baking soda, by reducing lactic acid buildup and alkalizing the internal environment, improves mitochondrial function. This means smooth muscle cells get more energy to contract and relax properly, optimizing blood flow and retention in the penis. Just by incorporating a glass of warm water with baking soda on an empty stomach and maintaining light activity, Mr. Francisco noticed surprising changes: firmer erections, longer duration, and, above all, a sense of control and security he hadn't felt in years. 9. Calms the nervous system. Sexual function doesn't depend only on circulation or hormones. The nervous system plays a key role. As we age, the balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems can shift, leading to tension, anxiety, and blocks during intimate moments, even when desire and physical capacity are present. Let me introduce Mr. Claudio, 70 years old, a retired Army sergeant who confessed, "Doctor, I still love my wife, but every time we get close, I panic and my body locks up." This fear and stress weren't voluntary. His body was stuck in constant tension mode, preventing relaxation and pleasure from activating. Baking soda, by reducing systemic acidity and inflammation, favors the parasympathetic system, the one responsible for rest and relaxation, taking control. This allows the body to respond naturally to desire, facilitating firm erections and full enjoyment of intimacy. With simple habits like a glass of warm water with baking soda on an empty stomach and light walks, Mr. Claudio noticed changes: less anxiety, greater sense of control, and more natural pleasure during intimate encounters. The difference wasn't instant, but progressive and steady. Benefit number 10, enhanced with lemon or apple cider vinegar. Beyond the individual benefits, there's a natural combination that can amplify baking soda's effects: lemon or apple cider vinegar. This mix not only alkalizes the body, but also gently stimulates liver function and improves vascular tone, promoting more efficient blood flow. Let me tell you about Mr. Benedito, 74 years old, a widower for 5 years from Fortaleza, who was resuming intimacy but felt his body was rusty and low on energy. I suggested a small morning ritual: a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon and half a teaspoon of baking soda, sipped slowly on an empty stomach. After a month following this routine, Mr. Benedito returned beaming. "I didn't expect much, doctor, but I wake up feeling more alive. My mind is clearer, and my body responds again." The lemon or vinegar combo with baking soda facilitates toxin elimination, protects blood vessel endothelium, and maintains steady circulation to intimate tissues. This habit, simple and safe, has a cumulative effect. It reinforces energy, mental clarity, and sexual response capacity, all without medications or complicated interventions. Now, before wrapping up, I need to answer a question many of you ask. Does baking soda help reduce prostate inflammation? Look, baking soda can help balance pH and ease certain discomforts, but it's not scientifically proven to directly reduce prostate inflammation. For prostate issues, the most important thing is to consult a urologist for proper diagnosis and treatment. Baking soda can be a complement, never a substitute for medical care. We've journeyed through 10 surprising benefits of baking soda together, backed by real stories of men who reclaimed their energy, confidence, and vitality. From balancing internal pH to calming the nervous system and enhancing circulation with lemon or apple cider vinegar. Each step shows that even after 60, your body can respond and adapt. I want you to remember one very important thing. You're not broken. The changes you notice with age don't mean you've lost your strength or ability to enjoy intimate life. Sometimes we just need to support our body with simple, natural habits. And with consistency, the results can be surprising. Small gestures like a glass of water with baking soda on an empty stomach, a daily walk, or balanced eating not only improve erectile function, but also boost daily energy, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Stories like those of Mr. Geraldo, Mr. Antonio, Mr. Roberto, or Mr. Benedito teach us that every change, no matter how small, can transform your life. If this video gave you hope, valuable info, or just a nudge to care for your health, I invite you to like it and leave a comment. Write a 1 if it made sense to you or 0 if it didn't. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss more natural, science-based tips made just for men over 60. Remember, your health matters, and it's never too late to reclaim your strength, passion, and connection. Take control of your well-being today. Because even after 60, you can live with energy, confidence, and fullness. Thanks for joining me. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.